There comes a time when you stop explaining yourself to people who only want to misunderstand you. A moment when you realize that truth doesn't need defending. When you begin to stay silent, the world begins to speak for you. And your silence is not a retreat, is a choice. Today, this message comes as a calling. Not to make you shout, but to remind you, silence is the most powerful weapon. You are not silent because you are weak. You are silent because you are wise enough to choose, to know which voices deserve your response and which are best left in the distance. Life does not always require explanations. Sometimes, when you stop speaking, you truly begin to listen to your heart, to the universe, and to your most authentic self. In this journey, we will explore what truly happens behind your silence, what changes when you choose not to react, and why this decision will transform everything. There are moments when you feel pulled in two directions, between wanting to explain yourself so others understand, and wanting to remain silent so your soul stays at peace, between pleasing everyone and protecting your own spirit. And in the middle of that storm, you chose silence. Not because you were lost, but because you realized silence is not weakness, is protection. Protection of your energy, your dignity, and your inner peace. You have reached a point where you are tired of explaining yourself to people who never wanted to listen. You no longer force them to understand your sincerity, because the more you explain, the emptier you feel. Now you see, silence is not defeat. Silence is inner victory. It is the highest form of self-control. When you know you could respond, but you choose not to. When you know you could create noise, but you choose peace. That is not surrender, that is power. And the beauty of silence that comes from awareness, not from fear, is that it brings clarity. You begin to hear what was once hidden beneath external noise. You begin to see who comes with love and who comes only to take. You realize not everything needs a reaction. Some people are only there to test your patience, not to understand you. And if you entertain everything, you will never finish with yourself. Silence is a sign of growth. Once you were easily triggered. Now you choose carefully. Once you responded to everything. Now you respond only to what matters. This is not about being closed. It's about being conscious of your power. And one truth many never see. Your silence is not empty. It is full of meaning. Behind that stillness lies a profound process. You are quietly growing, quietly healing, quietly rebuilding your life. So, if others think you are silent because you know nothing, let them. You don't need to explain yourself. You are busy becoming the best version of who you are. Silent, but strong. Silent, but moving forward. Silent, but shaping your destiny. Perhaps you've wanted to explain everything, to prove yourself, to defend yourself. But the more you explained, the more misunderstood you became. And that's when you realized, not every battle deserves your presence. Not every attack deserves your response. Some people don't fight you because you are wrong. They fight you because your light exposes their shadows, because you carry what they don't. Depth, courage, resilience. And some people only come to test your emotions. They want you to explode, because that is how they feel they've won. But you are not on that level anymore. Your silence is not ignorance. It is mastery. You've chosen a different path. A path where inner peace matters more than winning arguments. You've learned that silence often hurts those who attack you more than any reply could, because they cannot touch your core anymore. Silence does not mean you don't feel. You feel deeply, but you refuse to react impulsively. You transform that energy into growth, not vengeance. The more you master your silence, the more you master your life. Because life is not about who shouts the loudest, it's about who knows when to speak and when to stay silent. In your silence, hope is reborn. For so long, you reacted to everything, explained everything, sought validation everywhere. But when you stopped, you finally heard your own soul. Silence cleared the noise, and hope began to rise. Hope that life can still change, that your future is not defined by your past, that you deserve more than just survival. Hope doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it whispers, "You can overcome this. You deserve joy. You are enough." And in silence, you begin to believe again. You begin to dream again. You begin to open your heart again. Yes, lately you may have felt alone, surrounded by many, yet empty inside, speaking your heart, yet never truly heard. And so you chose silence. And in that silence, you met someone you had long abandoned yourself. Solitude hurts at first, but if you stay, it becomes a gentle embrace. Not from anyone else, but from your own soul, accepting you fully with all your wounds and beauty. In silence, masks fall away. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You begin to ask the deepest questions. What do I really want? Who truly loves me for me? And slowly, you discover you don't need the world to validate you. Your worth was never lost. It was only hidden beneath the noise. And when you survived this silence, you are no longer afraid to be alone, because you now know you are your own home. After all this silence, healing, and transformation, something begins to happen. Light moves toward you, slowly but surely. Maybe life still feels ordinary now, but deep within, your energy has shifted. And because you've become authentic without masks, without begging for approval, the universe begins to align with you. You no longer chase, you attract, and light appears in simple ways. A new opportunity, an unexpected ally, a quiet morning peace. These are not coincidences. They are rewards from the silence you've kept. The universe sees the tears you wiped away in secret, the strength you carried without applause, and now the light is here. Not because you begged, but because you stayed. Happiness does not always come in fireworks. Sometimes it arrives as a soft glow, reminding you you are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are becoming the light you once searched for. And so, remember this: silence is not emptiness. It is sacred space. A place where your strength is born, where your clarity awakens, where your soul matures. You don't need noise to prove yourself. Your presence already speaks. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone else walking this path. And write this in the comments. Silence is my strength. Let the universe know you are ready to rise into your new chapter.